Joe Phantomaniacs, welcome to the newest unboxing here on the Needless Things YouTube channel. Today we are taking a look at Kim Jinx Arashikage from the G.I. Joe Classified series. This is new packaging. I think it looks great. I like the reduced profile of it. The dimensions are 5 by 8 3/4 by 2. So do with that what you will. I don't have any original classified boxes, so I don't know off the top of my head what the measurements were on those, but I can tell you this one is definitely has a smaller profile and seems a little more efficient with space. I like the look of it a lot. The window looks great. You've still got the specialties on the side, little art on the side, diorama on the back. So good packaging, good job. I think it's a great update. And we will now open the figure up to find out if I feel the same way about Jinx. Jinx appeared in 1987 in G.I. Joe the movie, which I absolutely loved and was baffled as to why I was not able to see it in a theater like I did with Transformers the movie. You know, obviously years later we would learn the reasoning behind all of that. But at the time I was a little bummed out about it. I'm not going to lie. Got kind of the same interior packaging as what we've been dealing with for the last 4 years, which is not a problem. Oh, and this is figure 124. I've barely ever paid any attention to what numbers any of these figures are, but it is mind-blowing that we are up to 124. Let me, hang on. Yeah, because Night Creepers 121, Torches 123. I don't know what Doc is off the top of my head. He's shipping later for some reason. But yeah, oh, Naugahyde's 125. So we are up to 125 released figures. Unless there's some holes that have come out. Like I said, I don't really keep up with the numbers. So Jinx has a good amount of gear with some interchangeable hands, which I love. Carefully remove everything. Naugahyde, there was a little, his tray was a little stiff, and some of the, like, I'm very concerned about this tie right here getting caught and getting ripped off, so I'm going to be careful with that. Everything's a little too snug for my liking in these trays. I think the trays are a little firmer plastic, maybe, than what Classified had used in the past. And I don't love that. Because I had always admired the fact that Hasbro was not using tape. There was friction keeping everything in place in their packaging. But these trays are a little stiff. Worried about that sword. How rigid it is or is not going to be. Alright, so first, the Jinx figure. The knees immediately are a little weird to me. I noticed this when they released the, I guess, production photos, final production photos, whatever they are, that there's just this action figure-ness to how narrow her knee joint is versus the surrounding pants. It's just kind of a weird look. Now, when you pose her in a cool action ninja pose, it's going to really look like that. But it's just that right there, that profile is odd to me. The red of the plastic on the knee joints is a little different from the surrounding area. Not a deal breaker, not as bad as some figures have been in the past, but noticeable, I'm not going to lie. I like the detailing down the side of her gi. And here is, and really comparisons almost aren't even worth doing because the original Jinx figure is so different. But you can see she does still have the dragon emblem, the black belt, red, overall. She does not, however, have the painted fingernails. That's actually a little disappointing. I'm not going to lie. You can see the foot design. So many have speculated a retro Jinx probably on the way, and I could absolutely see that happening. But You know, side by side, you can see this is much more of an update than some of the Joes that we've gotten. And personally, I dig it. Her necklace here is a separate piece, which I like. And that portrait is fantastic. Love the hair. But just tons of character in that portrait. I really, really dig this one. Makeup is kind of reserved. She looks great. Butterfly joints up here. Plastic feels really good. And they just managed to shape the tattoo so they could avoid printing it on the elbow. Like it doesn't quite look wrong. You know what I mean? I like the tattoo. I think they've done a really nice job with the tattoos in the Classified series because they do have that faded look to them. Because you can see tattoos are not like black drawn on Sharpie. They are faded. So, where'd we go focus-wise here? What happened? Okay. So I like the tattoo. I think the tattoo looks great. I know a lot of people aren't necessarily fans of some of the tattoo additions that have been done, but I don't know what to tell you. I dig it. I think it's a good upgrade. I really do like the color on her gi. I wasn't sure about it in the renders, but it just adds something needed to the design. Like the black ties around her leggings or whatever these are here. The feet are, of course, the standard modern articulation. Everything's moving around really nicely. Yeah, I dig this design a lot. I think she looks great. Oh, and she has the ball-jointed torso rather than the ab crunch, which I absolutely prefer. It requires a little working to get the full range out of it. Like out of the box, it's a little stiff, but it's moving around pretty good now. And then she's got this really high waist piece. That's about as far down as that goes. This is an awesome figure. I really dig this one. I was pretty excited about it, and I thought I liked the updated look, but you never know till you get it in hand. Look at the wrappings, the detail on her forearm wrappings. Very nice. Cool looking figure. Now I got the bottom part misaligned a little bit there. There we go. All right. You know what? I want to put her in a cool ninja pose. Whoop. Leg popped off. I was absolutely putting too much stress on that. Oh, look at that. So she's got, she doesn't really have the drop down hips. That's interesting. But she does have, you can turn that up and get a nice deep. I'll play around with this a little bit more. I think I can do better, but pretty cool. Ninja pose there. All right. Ninja pose. The staff I thought was going to be bendy, and it is not. It is a nice rigid plastic. This is great. Holy cow. This is seriously, look at this. There is no, there's enough so it's not going to snap on you, but this is not rubbery at all. This is a great rigid piece of plastic. Fantastic. Beautifully sculpted detail. Looks nice and metallic on the blades. The wrappings there with the sculpt and the paint. This is awesome. This is so much better than I thought it might be. You can see, very similar to the original. That's a great piece. The alternate masked head, which is... I would love to have this look, and if we do get a retro Jinx, I will use this look, but I'm not even going to mess around with this because I've got to have that portrait visible. It just looks too good. You know, having said that, though, I've got Kamakura, and I've got a bunch of masked ninjas on the shelf. Man. The alternate hands here, which are for some reason trigger finger hands. I don't understand that at all. And then her blindfold, which is a pretty flexible plastic. I'm trying to decide which way it looks like it goes. So you can see it looks like it goes that way. I don't want to stretch it too much. There we go. We're getting there. We're getting there. Okay, cool. So, blindfold. And then finally the sword, which the original figure came with a backpack and 2 swords. And a little bit of dust. Pardon me. And this one, at least the sheath is closed and the blade is not exposed. The sword, oh, nice rigid plastic. This is not rubbery. Oh, fantastic. So you've got the wrappings there. The blade is, well, not unfortunately, it's just, it's cast in what Hasbro thinks is a metallic plastic. So it has that look. I think this painted metal looks so much better, but they didn't go that route. And then, you know, this is not bad. It's just not... I'm really glad those Iron Grenadier bats have gold paint rather than that gold plastic that, as I very specifically said, that Hasbro thinks looks like metal. So there she is, Jinx. Looking awesome. She's got to be holding this because this accessory is too perfectly executed not to give her on the shelf. So the sword's going to stay on her back. I'll go ahead and swap those hands out. I don't know if I want her holding it with both hands, though, because I do like her having kind of a fist ready to go. So maybe we'll just have something like this. I dig it. I dig it a lot. She's great. I am very, very happy with this figure. Just everything about the way that she was executed is cool. And there's a lot of room for a retro carded Jinx if they want to do that. That could look very, very different from this figure. And that, to me, is the most interesting kind of stuff. So there she is, Jinx, looking classified. That's all I can say. This is what I like in classified. I like the retro stuff too, but this is the kind of updating that I really dig. Thank you for watching. Please like, subscribe, share, tell your friends about Needless Things, and until next time, buy what you like.
Smash that like button if you like Needless Things.